The close bond between brothers Jason and David Stabler will be sorely tested by two women, but will it be severed by their presence? The intriguing movie experience of The King of Marvin Gardens awaits. Hello, I'm Ethan Janakis, founder of the Cinematic Revelations movie review and interview blog, and welcome to my Cinematic Revelations podcast. This is a podcast for those seeking more depth out of their cinematic experience, to separate the filmic wheat from the chaff, and to bring notice to those films which deserve critical reappraisal. Today I will be discussing Bob Rafelson's haunting 1972 film, The King of Marvin Gardens, starring Jack Nicholson and Bruce Dern. A radio disc jockey becomes involved in his older brother's fantastical get-rich-quick and other schemes, trying to set him on the straight and narrow, and away from an aging beauty and her stepdaughter, but fate has other ideas. The movie within a film history context. Stories of families, in this case of two brothers, have been featured variously through cinema history. Duel in the Sun, 1946, and Sabrina, 1954, are notable examples from the 1940s and 1950s respectively, each pitting one brother against the other for the love of a woman, with contrasting results. With the 1970s, the decade of The King of Marvin Gardens, came movies such as The Godfather, 1972, Junior Bonner, 1972, The Last American Hero, 1973, Lost Horizon, 1973, and The Gravy Train of 1974. Unlike the examples from 1946 and 1954, these 1970s films did not involve brothers battling over a woman. These movies had brothers in combat for a variety of reasons, such as the family business in The Godfather, with The Gravy Train showcasing brothers in a loving relationship who defend each other to the very end. Junior Bonner and The Last American Hero spotlighted brothers who had personal rivalries unconnected to romantic entanglements, but which were on a personal level. In the case of Lost Horizon, on the other hand, two brothers were at odds for one of them to not become involved with a woman who was in definite opposition to the other movies. The King of Marvin Gardens has a similar predicament, in which one brother tries to dissuade the other from pursuing a relationship with a woman and her stepdaughter, with tragic results. Unlike the other movies mentioned, the themes of brotherly love and loyalty are handled in an exhaustive manner in The King of Marvin Gardens, taking up the majority of the movie's screen time. This has the effect of making the film one of the most intimate, honest explorations of brotherly relationships in the history of cinema. The King of Marvin Gardens was director Bob Rafelson's third film, released after Five Easy Pieces, 1970, and his first feature film, The Irreverent Head, of 1968. The majority of his films are character-driven in nature, with some sporadic forays into suspense such as The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1981. The King of Marvin Gardens falls into the category of Mr. Rafelson's character-driven dramas, a tightly directed, engrossing drama of two brothers and how their bond is tested by outsiders, but events and their own idiosyncrasies threaten this close kinship. Mr. Rafelson has made a film which thoroughly examines the relationship of two brothers, opening them to the audience with all their flaws and fantasies intact for viewers to contemplate. This is the excellent component of the film, its most compelling aspect. There are some slow stretches in the film which dull the effect to a small degree, but Mr. Rafelson makes up for these with his showcasing of the central brother-brother relationship. The female characters in The King of Marvin Gardens bring tension and complexity to the film, testing the brotherly dynamic, and add an unpredictability which showcases further nuances in the brothers. On the same note, there is the impression that if the distaff side did not appear in the film, there was enough material in the brother-brother dynamic that could have been covered. So compelling was the relationship between the two central protagonists. In terms of acting, The acting in The King of Marvin Gardens is of a very high standard, with two performances in particular standing out for their realism. Bruce Dern is an actor who always gives his best on film, and this movie is no exception. An engaging, energetic performer who in this movie does not hold back in the role of Jason Stabler, the silver-tongued, roguish cad. Mr. Dern infuses his role with personality and depth, and one wants to believe his pipe dreams and hope that they turn out as he wishes. Jack Nicholson is more than a match for Mr. Dern as his pensive brother, David Stabler, in The King of Marvin Gardens. Mr. Nicholson is the real surprise and revelation in the movie. Usually cast in roles which take advantage of his penchant for off-the-wall antics and scene-stealing, in this film he takes on the role of the quieter, more thoughtful brother. This works so beautifully as Mr. Nicholson stays largely composed in The King of Marvin Gardens, underplaying his role, that it creates a great contrast with Bruce Dern. This choice makes their relationship all the more poignant and realistic. This is my favourite performance from Jack Nicholson, and the effect of his restraint works all the more in an emotional sense, especially at the film's conclusion. The King of Marvin Gardens has relatively no score or music, the naturalistic background noise the only soundtrack the film possesses. The use of sound or music is most evident when Sally welcomes David to Atlantic City, accompanied by a small orchestral ensemble, a nightclub visit, and the faux Miss America pageant where the principals participate. The film largely stands on its own without any theme music, preferring to concentrate on the visuals, which draws attention to both these and the actors. The imagery in The King of Marvin Gardens is what remains with the viewer long after the movie has ended. The cinematography has captured a bleak winter in Atlantic City to maximum effect, and it reflects the chilly emotions in play for the characters in the movie, particularly Jason Stabler's tenuous relationship with aging beauty Sally. Aside from this, The King of Marvin Gardens utilises other outdoor locations, such as the train station where David and Sally first meet, the beach where the brothers are on horseback, and the shop that David and Jason visit, and these add a freshness and veracity to the proceedings. Interior locations such as the slightly garish hotel room in which the brothers and women are staying reflects the raw emotions and scenes that take place here. With the red drapes and carpeting, this infers that what is taking place between the characters here is akin to a theatrical performance, replete with barnstorming emotions between them for the audience to witness and devour. The performances of Jack Nicholson and Bruce Dern were the most striking in The King of Marvin Gardens. In terms of suitability for young viewers, no, it's not suitable for young viewers, as there is brief female nudity, adult themes, and medium-level violence. I am very happy to award The King of Marvin Gardens a B grade, being that it is an above-average movie. I hope you have enjoyed my journey into the world of The King of Marvin Gardens. In the next podcast, I will be looking at Peter Bogdanovich's classic 1971 movie, The Last Picture Show, with an illustrious cast including Timothy Bottoms, Jeff Bridges, Ellen Burstyn, Sybil Shepherd, and Cloris Leachman. You've been listening to the Cinematic Revelations podcast. I'm your host and producer, Ethan Janakis. If you like what you heard, please leave us a good review and subscribe wherever you listen. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy cinematic travels.